I saw this on the Twitter. Someone tweeted this. You Steintards love the idea of repeating history, right? First of all, that's great outreach. Again, I've never seen in the history of campaigns where the winner is such a shitty winner. I've never seen it in my life. Have you seen this? Mm-hmm. The people who won still shitting on the people who lost instead of trying to get them to vote for you. I've never seen this before, right? Have you? And they called us smug. Anyway,
it's unbelievable.
So I just want to talk to the people. I want to tell people about what really lost the election for Al Gore in Florida. What really lost the election for Al Gore in Florida was that, so I went to, this is, by the way, California Green Party website. Dispelling the myth of election 2000, did Nader cost Gore the election? So I just want to tell you, remember, here's the important numbers you have to remember. Over 200,000 registered Democrats voted for George Bush during that election. Did you know that?
Yes.
So 200,000 Democrats didn't vote for Nader. What they did was they voted for Bush. So that tells you that Al Gore, bad candidate. He lost all on his own. That was him losing. By the way, lost his own home state and lost Virginia, which a Democrat in the presidential race hadn't lost Virginia since McGovern. West Virginia. West Virginia. Okay? So think about that. 200,000 Democrats vote. So all this stuff about the 90-some thousand people who came out to vote for Nader, they did exit polls on those people, on the people who, when they came out, they said to people, if it was just a two-person race, if Ralph Nader wasn't in it, if it was just a two-person race, how would you have voted? Turns out George Bush would have done even better. That a lot of those people who ended up voting for Nader would have voted for Bush. So if Nader wasn't in the race, it wouldn't have been as close as it was, that Bush would have actually done better. Yes, that's according to the exit polling. And also, so keep that in mind. So right there, that just ends the argument that Al Gore couldn't get Democrats to vote for George Bush in Florida. That should end the argument. Doesn't. People keep going. That other thing I just said, couldn't win his own home state, lost West Virginia. Also, did you know that the Florida Secretary of State, Kathleen Harris. Mm-hmm. Who was she? She was also working for the Bush campaign.
That's right.
But she was also then, so now she's in charge of the
recount.
of the election. She's in charge of the election, meaning before the vote. Guess what they did before the vote? They purged the voters of minorities who were going to vote for Al Gore. The Florida Secretary of State office hired a private firm known as Database Technologies, Inc., now ChoicePoint Corporation, to identify convicted felons and remove them from Florida's voting rolls. Prior to the election, 94,000 voters were removed. This is legal if someone has been convicted of a felony, but it turns out, ready for this, Steve, 97% were innocent and should not have been removed.
No way.
So
I'm not surprised.
So they knock all those people off the voting rolls, 97% of which shouldn't have been, half of which were minorities. Likely Al Gore voters.